Okay.
I want you just to welcome you all here today to this satsang, and we're just going to go around and just check in quickly that I can just know where and how you are doing. So we'll start with Pat and Carol from Joburg and just check in. How you guys?
We're fine, thank you. We're here. The weather's nice. We wish it would rain.
Well, okay. We'll ask Durban to blow some that way.
If Durban can rain here, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Barbara's Nikki.
Oh, me. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Getting used to the new norm. There's been some challenges, but there's also been some major benefits to being at home. So yes, good headspace at the moment.
That's good. That's important. That is like a vital life skill in these times, because if you're not in a good headspace, you can just yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not always been the case. I won't lie. It's not always been.
Yeah. No, I know. We go through these cycles. Cool.
Yes.
Misha and Sagri, check in for us. How are you guys?
Good so far. All good. It's very rainy here. Yeah, trying to make the most of the lockdown.
Okay.
And get busy, get creative. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty decent.
And you, Sagri?
Oh, just loving the weather, the rain,
Okay.
waiting patiently for your satsang.
Good.
All ready for the morning.
Good. Welcome. And now Barbara.
Yeah, well, sort of as you would expect, uneventful week.
Okay.
But you know what you start to realize after a while is that everything becomes timeless.
Yes.
So you understand more about timelessness than if you're in a normal environment.
Yeah.
And about being in the present, continuously being in the present, never being anywhere but in the present. Yeah. So that's been my realization for the week.
Well done. Yes. To stay present is can be a challenge from time to time. I find myself, I get myself in the present moment, and then my thoughts go not present moment, and then I have to draw it back to present moment. But yeah, when it's all practice, and when we get it right, we benefit.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done. Thank you, Barbara. Anita, check in for us.
Hi, it's Anita. Thank you so much. Yes, I've really been enjoying Fiona's satsangs, and I had the most fantastic chakra balancing, I think, on Wednesday. So I actually slept the whole of Thursday. Really tired. I was so exhausted, but beautiful. I'm loving where I am at the moment. I agree with Barbara. It's about being in the moment and enjoying the moment, and constantly resetting yourself and enjoying the moment. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, and then we just Nikki.
Me this time.
This time, yes.
A better naming system because it's very confusing.
Yeah, okay.
Nikki 1, Nikki 2, Nikki's tall, Nikki short, I don't know, something. I'm doing good. I'm still enjoying the lockdown. Funny, I asked Dave the other day what it is he misses most, and he says interaction with other people. I said the gym. That's all I miss. It's all I miss is swimming in the pool.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm loving it. I'm in a really good headspace. I'm loving being at home.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I love all those good headspaces. Yeah. We should rub off on one another. Good. Thank you for joining us. Vanessa.
Hello, everybody.
Jy 'n bietjie harder praat.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to wake up everybody in the house. Well,
Wow, okay.
with us, so it's
Wow,
not
okay.
really that much. I'm good. I'm enjoying it. I feel like I don't have enough time to do what I want to do, to get to everything I wanted to get. It's crazy. I'm still working, but not the hypnotherapy. So yeah, obviously I can't see clients, and I'm not quite comfortable with doing a Zoom client session yet. I'm doing a lot of cooking. I'm so full of cooking. My fingers are all burnt, and baking, and yes, I love it. I could actually be at home. Yes, I'm a born hermit, so I'm enjoying it. Love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Welcome. Ek's bly dat jy ons kon join. Dankie. Okay, now Verena, let me just unmute you. Verena, check in for us, please.
Hello everyone, some familiar faces which I haven't seen for a while, so hello. And thank you for inviting me. I am, as you can imagine, I'm perfectly happy where I am. I am very blessed that I'm able to work from home, so I'll be here for quite a few more months, I think, before they allow us back into our offices. And yeah, I'm not battling at all. It's as interactive as I need it to be in terms of online meetings and stuff. It's really, really cool. I love working with my dogs around me and my beautiful 5 acres to look out on, and so I'm really, really blessed, and I'm very grateful to be able to work from home and still earn my salary.
Awesome. Welcome. I'm so glad that you could make it today. Thank you. So, well, you're quick. Okay. So, yesterday I sat and I connected with the group energy, and one of the tenants on the plot has got this beautiful oracle deck that is the bird cards, the healing power of the birds, bird kingdom. So I asked the birdies, what message do they have for us today? And the card that was drawn is the penguin. So I'm just going to read you the message that the penguin brings us today. Let me just bring it up so that I can see it clearer. So the penguin's message for us today, and it's just to see, it might relate to you, might not relate to you, or might relate to parts of you. So just take it as it comes. So the penguin is a very funny bird to watch on land, but swimming underwater to catch fish presents no problem at all. There's an awkwardness there. Penguin's consciousness reflects the energy of the perfect soul trapped into an imperfect body. And it's we all have different body issues, or some of us do, some of us don't, but if this applies, then you take it. If you're not, then you have lots of compassion for the others. So it can be an enormous help to those who feel they're trapped in a body that does not work perfectly or does not fit the accepted perfect body form of the day, because different body shapes are in fashion or out of fashion. So people who identify with the penguin as their bird symbol are likely to be uncomfortable in their body in some way, or at some stage of their life. We go through these stages where our bodies keeps on changing. There may be an actual physical handicap, or simply a fury at the body that is not a perfect model shape. They have usually compensated for their physical discomfort in some way, either by developing their minds powerfully or going within and finding freedom from the unfettered spirit. The challenge here is to accept themselves just as they are. And it's for all of us to accept ourselves just the way we are. How we speak, how we laugh, how we look, how we, whatever, it is all about self-love and self-acceptance at a deeper level, because we go through there's certain things that we can accept a little bit easier than the other things. I lost. Yeah, okay. Sorry for this. I'm just finding my space again. Okay, yeah. Then they have to let go of the anger at themselves for being different. Instead, they learn to love the uniqueness. In this battle, they come to learn who they really are. They have chosen, if you've chosen this penguin card today because there is an aspect of your physical self or emotional self or mental self or spiritual self that you are loathing. Please stop for a moment and think what this feels like to be loathed. Your body has a consciousness. It responds to the energies that you are directed at it. Every single thing in the universe blossoms and flourishes under the influences of the energy of love. And we're going to speak about love and acceptance today as well. So it's to know that, so it doesn't just apply to others. This is to self-reflect, to see where can you accept more and love more. How's the self-talk going? So a lot of you have said that you're in a good headspace, but are your emotions also good towards yourself and stuff? Okay. So your body is no exception, because things wilts and dies if we expose it to hate, and it's sometimes dislike from others or dislike from yourself, where these learned behaviors or patterns. It can keep on as long under the it can keep going only as long under the bombardment of criticism and rejection. Penguin energy can be an ally in helping you perceive yourself as beautiful in your own eyes. It's to see your beauty within, your beauty on the outside. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I really like you. I really love you. You are beautiful. You're perfect just the way you are. Perfect in all the imperfections, in all the curves, in all the things that you see. Just laugh. Just tell your body, love you. Love each part of you. Because that's how you keep yourself, alive and happy, and your cells then responds to the loving energy. And it's vitally important to do that, especially in these times. Once you can really allow yourself to be beautiful just the way you are, you will see the holy form of the perfect goddess within you. As Barbara also saw in the last week's meditation, her true self, and being surprised by that, and it's to accept that. So radiating through the sacred chalice that is your body, and you will have discovered the Holy Grail. So it is for us to see that, accept that, and then start living that. So the penguin's affirmation for us today is, I am beautiful. It's to really feel it, sense it, be it, radiate it, mostly feel it. It's the feelings that you give towards yourself. There is nothing in my body that is not holy and beloved of God. I ask the overlighting consciousness of the penguin to help me to see myself with the eyes of God. I release my hostility to my body and ask it to receive my love from now on. So that is the message, the card message for us today. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna unmute all. Anybody who would like to comment anything or say anything or share anything? Oh yes, Beryl said I must say hi to each and every one of you. Her phone doesn't allow her to download the Zoom app, so she's very not happy about that, but she will listen to this afterwards. So she just says hi to everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so last week we started with looking at, I've been guided to do this book, the Parables of Kryon. We started last week, and it is to look at all the chapter or the parable that we are dealing with is past lives, present fears, because it is for a lot of us fears comes up, but it's not necessarily of current day fears. Sometimes it's of past life fears that we've either overcome or not overcome, and it is now for us to handle, to process, to get grips on, because most of us are going through how can I say this, we go through self-mastery, and in self-mastery we need to learn to handle certain emotions. So everything is about emotions. So we learn through emotions, we feel through emotions, we experience the various emotions has various effects on us, but it is for us to start mastering it, because while emotion, I want to say, has a field day with us, and it takes us where we go spiraling down and we become down and depressed or fearful or anxious or whatever. It still has the influence on us and our quality of life. So when we master it, when we release it, then we can really let it go. And hey, hello, Babaki. We've got a Babaki also joining us. So when we master it, then we can overcome it, and then it doesn't have any grip on us. So last week's one, we dealt with releasing the fear of abandonment, and some of us has it in one way or another, or have experienced it through lifetimes in one way or another. And this week we are dealing with the fear of confrontation, and it is so Kryon was talking about that there's 4 people in the crowd sitting in front of him, and they each have had a certain lifetime that they had to deal with some heavy stuff, and that is the reason for some of their current fears in this lifetime. And the advice was that when we start to know what it is actually about, and when we release that, then we can master that emotion. So the emotion for today is the fear of confrontation. So I want you just to listen with openness and see where, because we all have lived many times, all old souls, yeah, might be different ages in this lifetime, but we're still all old souls. And we've had all these experiences on this earth plane. And so just see where it's still showing up in your life. Where have you been preventing confrontation or trying to resist confrontation, or how has your ability to confront uncomfortable situations been for you? So I'm going to start reading. There's also one among you who is fearful of any kind of confrontation. This will explain why. You are 32 years old, dear one, a male in this reflective lifetime. You are female this time, however, as you sit here in this group, because we've had male and female lifetimes. In the past life, you sit uneasily with others in the chill of the night, waiting to stand and emerge in a line of battle. As you move, your armor feels uncomfortable, for you have never had it on before. The helmet, which is forced onto your head, feels foreign and the wrong size. The shield is heavy, and the sword. You never realized how heavy the battle sword was. You are asked to stand, but you barely can due to the added weight. You are being placed into battle as a last-ditch effort to save your country. It is being overrun by the barbarians, the conquerors, the ones grabbing your land and taking all you own. The small army of your country was overrun a few weeks ago. Now you are being required by your leaders in the final effort to go before this enemy that advances upon you. Only 3 days ago, the stewards of government came and gathered you from the fields, your fields. For you are a farmer by nature and understand animals and crops and your fields and your plants. Now you stand next to those battle-clad with you in the lines who are also farmers. For you have all worked with sheep and with goats and with livestock, and you stand with the heavy sword in your hand and realize that you don't know how to handle it, and that you don't begin to have the knowledge of the warrior that you are about to face. You are afraid. Your body and brain yells, "Run the other way!" But you have the silent honor for the love of your land and country, so that you sit waiting. It's time. The sun is rising, and the sounds of the enemy came rolling over the fields with the morning dew. You peek over the trenches, and you see their lines advancing towards you. Clanking and thumping with the machinery of war. The battle bell is sounded, indicating that you must rise and move forward. You look at the man next to you, a neighbor for years, one who grew wonderful crops you have tasted many times at events with his marvelous family. And you see the fear and the sorrow in his eyes. He avoids your stare, lest you see his tears. Both of you simultaneously lift your heavy weapons and armor loads as you stand and advance towards the warriors on your path. There is no thought of fleeing, no thought of saying no to your land. The enemy will destroy your farm anyway. So you might as well die fighting them now. Oh, the smell of fear in the air, dear ones, as you march towards this this noisy line, and you know that death is imminent. There's no turning back. But you do not look into the faces of those next to you. Those neighbors whom you have known and loved, those whose children you have known by name, for you know you will see their fear, and you wish to give them the dignity in their last moments. As you approach the enemy, the warriors advance quicker. They are anxious to meet you. Somehow they know that a victory is assured. All too soon, they are on you. You see the faces of the ones who is going to make battle with you. He sees you, and instantly he sizes you up. He sees he knows that you are a farmer, and he grins, revealing his missing teeth. All seems to be in slow motion as you wonder if he has ever helped birth a calf, or tended a flock or raised a crop. Did he have a family, or perhaps nurse a sick animal through a rough time? He raises his axe high above his head, and you raise your shield instinctively to ward off his blow. With his other hand, he sinks his blade beneath your shield, deep into your flesh. He has tricked you with his basic warrior move, and with a searing pain in your gut, you immediately feel that your legs weaken underneath you. It is quick and effective. He knocks you over with his shield and lets out a victory yell. You feel the spittle on your face as he speaks in a tongue that you do not understand, and he moves on to the next victim. You smell the familiar dirt as you lie in the mud, listening to the large group retreat towards your farm. In preparation, your family is safe in hiding, and your animals have all been freed. Somehow, you are at peace. You are peaceful. It is all over. You did all that you could, and now it is up to the others. Goodbye, dear precious family. You hear yourself talk in a voice that seemingly is not your own. I will see you all in God's time. It is over, and you know intuitively that you are going home. You feel the warmth of your life fluid run out of you and spill onto the land that you love and have cultivated many times. The pain is brief, then there is blackness. Dear ones in this room, let me tell you, this is why God loves you so much. For events like this create your lessons. And these are the lessons that raise the vibration of the planet. Is it any wonder that we sit at your feet in awe that you have chosen to do such work? This painful event from a great past time speaks to you today, many lifetimes later, of your fear of confrontation. It also speaks to you of your hesitancy to join with your governments in any venture, for it spelled death to you the last time. Please realize that you do not necessarily have to go through a battle with a toothless titan to have the fear of confrontation. But again, we have exemplified the most dramatic case this night so that all of you will appreciate who is sitting next to you or in this circle that we have today. We encourage those of you who wish to move through this karmic fear of confrontation to put on the armor of God. The next time confrontation presents itself, in whatever form it creates fear in your body, which makes your heart beat faster, which stirs up chemistry to make you anxious, move directly into it. Feel girded by the mantle of God. This new armor of the Spirit of God is far different than before, because the rules have changed in the new age. This is the age of co-creation with Spirit, with God. The age where your power is absolute, as long as your intent is pure. This is the mantle of love. God's mantle is the mantle of love, and the sword is a sword of truth. There is nothing that can stand against it. Those on the other side of your new enemy, of the new energy confrontation, will absolutely be aware of your karmic changes as you move into this event. And they will change too. Watch for it. See how the reaction will not be the same when you put on your spiritual armor and wield your sword of truth. For your actions will push love towards the individual you are confronting, and do more than just confront. It will solve the battle without wounding the warrior, for it will change the one who is dealing with it, and it will change you as well. No matter what kind of confrontational situation is at hand, move into it with confidence and love. Your confrontation is no longer a battle where there is always a winner and a loser, but instead the confrontation itself brings about solutions for both. The mantle of God contains the armor of wisdom, the shield of knowledge, the sword of truth. Move into it, therefore, with peace and quiet countenance of assurance. When you do this, your karmic tie will be broken, and you will never again fear this attribute. That is the piece today. And when I read it yesterday, I thought, oh, this is a little bit heavy to share with you all. I committed to start this fear process, but I thought, shall I really read this heavy stuff? And it reminded me of what Kryon said, and he said that in history, because we're going through a shifting time, and in history, the times before 2012 will be known as the barbaric age. And you think barbaric age, really? It was just, wasn't that bad? But if you read stories like this, you realize it was that bad. And it was our brothers and our sons and our whatever was still called to army, I think up to 1994 or 1990, I don't know, whatever. So they still had to face this. They still had to go through this. The clients that I've had that have come with telling me some of their army stories and the post-traumatic stress, and they never outlive the trauma of what they experience on the battlefields, but that's severe cases. I mean, if you look at lighter situations where you have to confront either a landlord or your boss called into a meeting or anything like that, then that fear comes up, the fear of confronting. But not just fear of confronting others, also the fear of confronting your own stuff, your own issues, your own lie programs, your own insecurities, your own limitations that you place upon yourself. So it's to confront that, because when you do, you liberate yourself. Then it can't have an effect on you anymore. Does anybody, I tried to unmute you all, but then I hear everything, so I've muted you all again. But you can just unmute now if you wanted to share something, because I would like some feedback on this fear of confrontation. Have you experienced, do you feel it sometimes? Do you experience it sometimes?
I just think that, sorry?
Barbara?
No, I just think, and I have felt it throughout my life, but not so much anymore. It's something that I've kind of grown out of, during my life, but I think it stems from a feeling of powerlessness.
Yeah.
And listening to that thing, that parable from Kryon, the farmer was powerless. The farmer wasn't a warrior or soldier. He didn't know about killing, and so he was actually powerless. And so fear of confrontation is really not knowing how powerful you are, I think.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah, valid. That's valid, Barbara. I'm terrible at confrontation. I'll avoid it at all costs. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's definitely about powerlessness. It's about I think it's also a little bit of not believing in yourself. Even if you do have the power, you don't quite believe it until you can prove it to yourself. And what situation is going to allow you to do that? That's the trick, you know.
Yeah.
Something that you feel like you can stand up and have the confrontation and learn from it.
Full of those situations.
You did.
I have the situations all the time. I don't have to look for that.
I've done really well at avoiding.
Yeah,
it's a big one for me. That's a big one for me.
The thing about wielding the sword of truth, it's easy to say, yes, just speak your truth. But when you're in certain circumstances, especially if you have to confront, I can remember when I had to leave Durban, and I had to leave my last house there, which I felt like was paradise, and I had to tell the landlord of all the things that was wrong. And I thought, if I tell him all the things that's wrong, I'm not going to get 1 cent of my deposit back, because there's wear and tear and things happen and so forth. But then I thought, no, I have to do to him what I would do unto me. I would like to know the truth and nothing but the truth to help you. Okay, so regardless of the consequences, I then just faced him, and I had many heart palpitations and thought, okay, how am I going to handle the situation? And I thought, I'm just going to do it, just bite the bullet. And I said, I'm just going to tell you everything that is wrong, everything that is broken, everything that has been whatever. I'm just going to show you everything so that when you move in, you don't have, oh, she never told me about this. I'm going to tell you. So I started with the garage. The motor wasn't working anymore. It just suddenly stopped one day. And I thought, oh, he's going to charge me for a new motor. And he said, that garage door has always given him problems. Finally, it's now broken. Now you can buy a new one. He's so glad. I thought, phew. Didn't expect that response. And I went through and whatever. They said, no, that's the normal stuff. It's not deducting anything from a deposit. And I thought, oh, wow. So sometimes it's fearful having to speak your truth and say these things. I had a client that's also from Joburg, and she was dead unhappy in her job. She was so unhappy. She just hated her job. She hated, she didn't feel she was in the right click, and things weren't working and whatever. And I said, but you have to have these discussions with your boss. And she said, no, I can't, because she was fearful. And she said, they're going to fire me if I tell them that I hate my job. And I said, no, a person doesn't want, a boss doesn't want an unhappy person in that position. If they're unhappy, they need to speak up so that they can place them in a clique or a group or a segment that they can thrive in. So it took her a day to give her lots of encouraging sessions, and then she had that uncomfortable discussion with her boss, and she was moved to a different department where she now flourishes. But if she never spoke up, and that fear of confrontation of worst case scenario, I'm going to get fired, or worst case scenario, it's going to cost me financially, or worst case scenario, that when we move into those fears, we just have a total different outcome sometimes. It is when we prevent it and when we resist it that we continue the pain or the suffering or the limitations that we place upon ourselves. But yes, it's like Barbara said, it's a feeling of powerlessness, because you don't have a control of how the other person is going to respond, because another person can respond in any different number of ways. But it reminds me of one of the stories that Beryl said in one of our circles, and she said she got I think, electricity bill of I don't know how much, and it was astronomical, and she also had to do this confrontation thing, and she went to the municipality, and the voice that day said to her, there's only God. So the God in me will see the God in the other person. And she went with that energy towards that. And it was sorted out. And there was no problem. But it's like that namaste, the God in me sees the God in you. It's to stop making the other an enemy. Doesn't matter who the other is. A person that dwindled you out of money, or a person that doesn't like your guts, or a person that many times when I've written out of some of the experiences that I've experienced, to me, I keep on using the word annihilation. It feels to me as if I've been annihilated. That's the intensity of the feelings that I feel. But it's not, and it's just those past times where I literally was annihilated, where my head was chopped off, or I was burned as a witch. I had all those experiences. But it's to still move into those experiences, move into the next one, going through that, because we are clearing negative karma. We don't always see it as clearing negative karma. We think either we've done in by, or this has happened, or that, and we make a judgment about it. But it's to is it Richard Branson who says, feel the fear and do it anyway? One of the books, I think, says it. And it is. It's feel the fear, sorry, and do it anyway. Confront your own deepest, darkest, I would say demons, but it's not demons, it's your fears. It's that which have something control over you, that which makes you feel, as Barbara said, powerless. That which you freeze, or it creates this anxiety. It's face it. Face it with the knowing of who you really are. So we had this, starting off with this penguin feeling awkward, because you are this magnificent soul with limitless potential, abilities, gifts, abilities to create abundance, and all so forth. Okay, and we come in this body which has got certain limitations. Okay, and we have to wield our way through all these things, and feel it and experience and heal and clear and release, and heal and clear and release some more. But it's to always remember actually who we really are, and carry that mantle of God, carry that love of self. Because if this is the vessel which God operates through, because God's just in all of us, and He shines through our smile and our compassion. And yesterday I kept on writing loving kindness and compassionate action, because Kryon keeps on talking about compassionate action. He says sometimes we will look at a situation and we'll think it's bad, or hey, look at what is happening in the world, and we'll make a big hoo-ha about it. But sometimes a hoo-ha is needed for people to open up their hearts, to drop into their hearts. There's a lot more people caring for the other now. There's a lot more people that giving food to others now. There's a lot more people that care about the poor now. There's a lot more people that just do things that under normal circumstances that they didn't give the time of the day. So it all calls for compassionate action from ourselves, within ourselves, about ourselves. It's to, as I said last time, and we are in this process, we keep on having to drop from the head to the heart. We need to operate from the heart space. But that takes bravery to really speak from that, to live from that, because we feel then we're going to be vulnerable, because we need to think things out, and we need to have all these defense mechanisms, but it's not necessary. We need to approach everything with love. But we first have to start with love, loving self, because you can't give to the other if you don't have it yourself. So yeah, anybody like to say anything? Yes, Vanessa, unmute yourself now.
Yes, I hear what everybody says in the fear of confrontation, and I find that I don't have a fear to confront an outside party. But when it comes to my family, when one of them does something to hurt me, that it just makes me crumble. It makes me feel annihilated like you do, because they're the ones that's supposed to look after me. I didn't do anything to them. Why are they doing this? So if a stranger does it, I really couldn't care less. I just turn around and walk away, or I give them a piece of my mind. But the hurt comes when it's a family member, yes, and it's somebody that was supposed to care for me or love me, or it's a parent or a sibling or a husband. That kind of, that really hurts. And then I'm like a little pathetic ball of patheticness, where it's just like, oh, I'm such a victim. How can you do this to little old me? And I never did anything to you. So that is my big issue. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. So yesterday I was reflecting on this because I read it, and then I thought, okay, so what am I going to say about all this madness of this fear? And one thing that came up for me as well is the biggest hurt was where there was deep heart connections, as you said, with family members or with friends, with and in my case as well. In all of our cases, it is the biggest hurt are where there was heart connections, but it's that karmic lessons that we have to walk through. So and Kryon once explained karma. He said it is not necessarily I kill you and the next lifetime you come and kill me. It is I kill you and it makes me feel shitty, and the next lifetime I can be in a situation where I nearly kill you and I decide I'm not going to kill you, I'm actually going to walk and turn you the other way. Or I am going to, so we get placed in similar situations, and we see, can we change it? Can our response to it change us? So it's like we are confronted with something, unfairness, unfairly treated, or not being cared for, or not being loved as we should, or being betrayed, or whatever. So we're confronted with that. It is how we respond to that where we change the karma, where we release it. So that it's to change the feelings of being annihilated to forgiveness and release it, so that we don't ever have to face that again, because else it keeps on coming back lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, because it is actually not the truth. Because the only truth is that there is love. Yes, we come and play these roles, but it's to liberate ourselves from these feelings that is not love, so that the only emotion that is remaining is love. Because the only emotion that is God is love. And we are that, but we forget that. And then we think, no, but it should just be, all our experience should just be this rosy. And no, all of our experience, it is rosy. It just we forget that there's thorns, and we forget that sometimes it doesn't blossom, and sometimes it needs pruning, and sometimes we get pruned so that we can grow and blossom again. So it's our perceptions about the experiences that hurts us, that trips us up. And as if the mind and the emotions then makes that our reality and grabs onto that, that is what we're going to keep on experiencing. And that is what causes the bitterness and and then it causes disharmony within the body. Then there's a loathing of self. I wasn't good enough, or I was left for somebody else, or somebody else is prettier, or this is and we start rejecting parts of ourselves. But that was not the purpose of the lesson or the experience.
Okay, yes, I agree with you. But also then I also found with this parable that you were reading, there's the betrayals and the hurt that I've experienced. I find, I mean, I've seen you a few times and I think I've dealt with it. But you reading this parable today, it just brought it all back again. I'm like, what the hell? what's going on here? I don't want to feel this again. I've dealt with it. But yeah, it actually awakened it again. Why did we do that?
You see, there's various layers upon layers upon layers, and it's like an onion releasing that.
Yeah.
And that's why first we heal, I want to say, current life traumas and issues, and then we go delve deeper, and then we can heal past life stuff. And I mean, okay, you are not, you are past life regressionist, but you chose this. Because I think deep down, you know, that's where the core wounding started. Okay? And it is to just do it maybe from a different vantage point or even at a different, deeper level. It's like, I thought I dealt with lots of experiences, okay, until a recent experience. And then I thought, why would I go through another repeat of these feelings and experiences again? I thought I've dealt with it. But it's like, deeper core woundings can be released, and deeper core woundings can be released.
All right, go deeper then.
Good. I think Verena wants to say something. Verena?
I was just going to say that for me, what he's saying is true, but I'm also very wary about just showing up for every single fight that comes along. So I always try and go back to the 5 agreements where it says, you know, it's just just don't make it your truth, because you've got to listen to what they're saying and then go, is this true really? Am I a nasty person? Am I ugly? Am I selfish? Am I whatever they're accusing you of? And you can go, well, no, actually I'm not. So then you don't have to confront. You can just, it's their truth. It's not your truth. And I find those 5 agreements quite powerful to come back to. If I'm ever in a confrontational thing, I go, well, not sure if what you're saying is just a projection or whether if it's true. So I'm just not really going to go back. I'm going to think about this. And then when I've thought about it, I'll come back and we can meet and we can discuss your feelings, because it says more about you than it says about me, actually. So I don't think you have to show up for every fight, but I do think that you need to have acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. So I very simply just go, I'm sorry, that is not acceptable to me. And if you want to engage with me, then these are the rules that for engagement under my roof and with me. So I'm not going to entertain your bad behavior, you know. So I think you have to look after yourself, and I think you have to protect your energy. And I think that one day, you know, you'll realize that energy is just energy. So if somebody's throwing bad energy, it doesn't really, you don't have to take it on. You can actually transmute it into good, because energy is basically just energy.
Vanessa has just asked that you just name the 5 agreements. As you said, it sounds like something that we all can use. I know them, but just for the group, can you just remind them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, she's just going to get a pen and paper. Just a second. She just wants to make notes.
I can also distribute it, but the first one is be impeccable with your word. So that is speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using your words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. That's the first one. The second one is don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality and their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. The third one is don't make assumptions. So find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. So this one is particularly strong for me because it says, I'm assuming that you're insulting me, but you might not be meaning what I'm interpreting. Because remember, whatever I hear, I'm filtering through my own experience anyway. So I might be hearing an insult when none was intended.
Yes.
So, you know, just always ask your questions. The fourth agreement is always do your best. And your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to when you are sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. And the fifth one is don't believe yourself or anybody else. It's be skeptical and learn to listen. Use the power of doubt to question everything you hear. Is it really the truth? Listen to the intent behind words and you will understand the real message. I'm happy to send this to Fiona and she can send it out to everyone.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
It's very pertinent and it's very relevant now. Thank you. Yes. And that's, I think that's in essence what the parable wanted to end off with is when we have the mantle of God, when we come with our truth, when we come with love, it's to know which time, when to step forward and when to step back in love and compassion, because you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to go into. You don't have to take it. And these are very. I can remember reading those 4 agreements a long time ago, and I know it's now the 5th agreement. But but it's very valuable because it's for me one that. That I know comes up for me from time to time is this thing about taking things personally, because when somebody will say something or do something, I will take it personally. I mean, and you would think, and that's why Kryon says, Spirit laughs at us if we say, okay, we've gone for one session and we've released it. Because some of the things that we come to release, we haven't been able to release for lifetimes. And in the soul reading that I had, my first lifetime on this earth plane was where I took things personally. And the most recent one was when Electra died. I took it personally because she left me. I guess I took it all. It all became about me. Didn't I give her enough love? Why did she leave so early? But we do sometimes take things personally, and we do have these. We believe what others say, and or we make their truth our truth, and it is. And that's one of the most beautiful things that Spirit ever told me was, or kept on repeating to me when I went through difficult lessons, was know thyself. Know thyself and be true to thyself. And it's what Verena now said. It's if you know, hey, this is me. What they're now saying is either projection or it's their stuff, because we are mirrors to one another and we're mirroring to one another. And it's not, if they say something, it mostly applies to them. And it's to have that compassionate action and just saying, oh, it's like one of the memes that I saw on Facebook, and it was this guy who removed his first mask, which was an anger mask, and the next mask was emotional mask. And when he removed that, there was a hidden, wounded inner child sitting there. And it is we go through these masks and we fall for the mask. We fall. No, he's just angry. No, behind the anger is emotions. And what is behind the emotions? There's a wounded inner child. So it's it's to have this compassion and love for all those, because everyone's just struggling with their own emotions, going through their own experiences. And so yeah, is there anybody else that want to say something before we go into the meditation?
I just wanted to say also that what I find or have found, you know, with all the different triggers that there are in life, which are obviously to teach us lessons, if you walk away or you avoid the confrontation, it'll come back in another form. So until you actually stand up for yourself and face whatever it is that you've got to confront, you can walk away that time, but then something else will come up until you face it. And then after that, you can move past it. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's for. I'm gonna give an example here, because it's when we use discernment, we'll know, like Verena said, when we don't have to confront, and how Barbara says when we have to confront. And for me, one of the difficult things was that in previous lives, I would be prevented from doing my light work. Okay? Not prevented, either I was, not that I want to talk about these experiences, but burned as a witch, or doing, going through this or going through that, and or people not wanting me to do. So in this lifetime, the last experience, it was like, okay, I was asked not to identify myself as a light worker or as a healer, because that's not who I am. And it was to do I give up who I am in the name of love, or do I walk away from this conditional love and still be who I am? So in previous lifetimes, I might have either succumbed to it or have allowed it or not allowed it. And in this lifetime, it was, I have to give up this love to still be true to myself. So sometimes we have to confront stuff and say, you know what? No. I worked long and hard enough on myself to know who I am and what I came here for. And if that is the case, then I need to step away. So there's times that we need to face it and release it or overcome it, or else we just go back to the old patterns. Oh, I'm not. Oh, you know better about me than I do. And we feel powerless again, and then we just become nothing. So it is for us to become strong within ourselves, know who we are, and walk courageously forward, even if it means to walk alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so is everyone ready for the meditation? Okay, wonderful. So I want you just I'm just going to mute you. Okay. So I want you just to all become comfortable. Closing your eyes, breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. With each in-breath, taking in the consciousness that's available to you now. And with each out-breath, release all that no longer serves you, in order for you to be shining lighter and lighter, brighter and brighter. And just allow this tone, this vibration, this frequency to go in, through, and around your body as you just relax. Wherever you hold any tension or stress, anxiety or fear, any of these emotions that was brought up by the reading, just detach, release, and let go of all of that now. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Calling in the full essence and presence of the Mother God. Calling in my gatekeeper angel, Angel Keshla, and Archangel Metatron, as gatekeepers to protect us from above. Calling in Archangel Sandalphon below to protect us from below. And calling in the four archangels of the four directions to surround us. Asking Archangel Michael to protect us from the south. Asking Archangel Gabriel to protect us from the west. Asking Archangel Uriel to protect us from the north. And asking Archangel Raphael to the east to protect us from the east. Calling in Saint Germain and Lord Rukovsky, the keepers of the violet flame, to surround us individually and collectively and around this portal with the violet flame for divine protection across all time, all space, all parallel realities and dimensions. Now calling in your highlight and calling in my highlight. Calling in our mission councils and ascension councils, all of the light, our healer guides and our guardian angels, all to surround us now, to help transmute, dissolve and transmute of all these emotions that have been coming up for us, especially emotions of confrontation and how this fear has tripped us up through any of our lifetimes, especially if it's still currently relevant. I want you now to visualize yourself, just keep on oxygenating your body and stepping into the most beautiful, magical garden or forest setting. Become aware of the surroundings. Now I want you to find the pathway which you start following. Asking that you take the pathway that leads you to the top of a mountain. Ever moving upwards and forwards. Until you reach a plateau on the top of this mountain. I want you just to observe the vastness of the landscape. And slowly but surely, as you are on top of this mountain, calling in all your guides to come and surround you. And as they surround you, I want you now just to detach, release and let go of this fear of confrontation, either to confront or be confronted, wherever the fear has influenced you, wherever the fear has restricted you from speaking your truth, living your truth, being who you are. Wherever this fear has created anxiety within you. Want you just detach, release and let go of the effects of this fear now. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Let it go, set it free, let it be. Asking Spirit for full dissolving and transmuting of this energy and the effects thereof across all lifetimes, past, present, and future. Keep on oxygenating your body with slow, deep breaths. Allow that energy to be dissolved within the DNA. Allow yourself to drop that karma. Drop it and release it unto the guides, the guardian angels that always walk beside you. Or you don't have to carry this with you anymore. Continue with slow, deep breaths. Detach, release, and let go of all fears of yourself or others and the negative impact that it has had on you. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Detach, release, and let go of any anger with any of these role players that came to play out this negative karmic pattern with you in contract. We ask for full dissolving and transmuting of this energy around anger and hatred across all lifetimes, past, present, and future, all timelines. Clearing, 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 all of them. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Allow it all to be dissolved now. See it for what it was set up to be. And just detach, release, and let go of that energy now. Those energy connections that you have with these role players that came as your teachers. To assist you in self-mastery means to move beyond these experiences, beyond these emotions. For in truth, you are stronger than this. It has no power over you except as the power that you've given. So release the energy of anger and hatred and the power that it had on you, and making you not feel good about yourself or about others. Just detach, release, and let go of all of that now. In any way, shape, or form that it has manifested in your life. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Liberate and set yourself free from that energy. Now, with the next out breath, I want you to detach, release, and let go of all the times that these experiences has left you feeling powerless. Wherever the issue around powerlessness has come up for you, I want you to drop the consciousness, the lie programs, the disbelief in your own power now. Surrender and release it onto all those that is around you. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Detach, release, and let go of all experiences of feeling powerless across all lifetimes, past, present, and future. Detach, release, and let go of all that is not your truth and only your truth in who you really are. Allow all those layers just to be stripped gently and harmoniously and peacefully away from you. Drop layers upon layers of this, all that is ready to be transmuted and dissolved, for the true authentic you to come out, this awareness of who you really are, to be expressed in this lifetime. Clearing any layers of darkness, any layers of heaviness. Release all those timelines, those events, those experiences where you've taken things personally and got hurt by it. Just detach, release, and let go of all the effects of that now. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Where you felt personally hurt by the things that people have said or done unto you, just detach, release, and let go of that energy. Liberate yourself from that energy. Now detach, release, and let go. As we ask for a full dissolving of the misperceptions that you've had for making certain assumptions. All the misassumptions that you've made about people, about situations, about life experiences, asking that the effects of that now all be transmuted from your cellular memories. Detach, release, and let go of all of that now. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Asking for full dissolving and transmuting all of that energy. Detach, release, and let go also of all the assumptions that people have made about you that is not true, that is not you, that you've taken about yourself. Just detach, release, and let go of all that energy now. Breathe it out, breathe it out, breathe it out. Asking that the full effects of that now be fully transmuted across all timelines, past, present, and future. It's as if you're stripping away all the layers, the clothes, the masks. That is not you. Just dropping them on the floor, on this mountain. Just totally surrendering it onto Spirit that is ever by your side, ever helping you on this journey with this that you came to face in this lifetime. And as you drop it all, your guardian angel is now offering you the mantle of God. I want you just to wear this mantle of God, mantle of love. Take it on, take it into your energy. As it contains now the armor of wisdom. So energetically, I want you to put on the armor of wisdom. The wisdom when to know, when to step forward in dynamic right action, and when to step back in love and in peace. Now your spirit guide is presenting you with a shield of knowledge, and I want you to take the shield in your most, your non-dominant hand. And allow the shield to merge with your forearm and become a 360-degree shield all around you, the shield of knowledge, for you to be able to tap into your knowingness of your truth at all times, knowing who you truly are, and not to take on other people's stuff from now on forward. And now your spirit guides is presenting you with the sword of truth. And you take the sword of truth in your most dominant hand, and you hold on to your truth. As you go through all lie programs within yourself, all lies that others have told you, or lies that you start telling yourself, just dissolve all lies and re-emphasize your truth. The truth of you being the most magical being, most loved, precious being. The God particle that you are, that you've chosen to incarnate on this earth plane. To move through this incarnation. Asking that these karmic ties be broken. It is ready to be broken with you carrying this mantle of God. Dissolving and transmuting these karmic ties. It is ready for dissolving and transmuting and cutting. I want you just to connect to your heart. Acknowledging yourself as beautiful, as precious, as whole and complete, as magnificent. I'm now calling in your highest teacher and guide to come and stand before you. And I want you just to listen to the messages that they bring you today. What is it that they want you to know or remember? What words, images, feelings, what is coming up for you? I'm just going to be quiet for a while. I want you just to connect as I hold the energy and open this portal for greater connection for you. Just receive the download of information that is available and pertinent to you in this now moment. And continue with deep conscious breaths. So allow yourself to be showered with love and wisdom. Asking that you are shown there's anything, any situation that you need to confront within yourself or within others, and how to step forward in a peaceful and harmonious way. Whatever has been creating any anxiety or fear, I want you just to see it all resolving beautifully. What is it that you need to accept within, to step forward in, to face? Want you to feel the love in your heart expanding all around you, and even further, just expanding out in this world to the love that you truly are. And from your heart now, I want you to send love wherever you feel it is needed, wherever you are drawn to. Send love. Show compassionate action in whatever shape or form feels right for you now. Let love dissolve. All pain, all sorrow. Become more and more at peace. And draw the love back into your heart. When you now just to accept the gift that you are being given by your guides. Notice what your parting gift is. And then I want you to come back into your body, back into this now, back into this moment, back into the timeline. And I want you to visualize yourself now being surrounded by a beautiful, shimmering diamond, the bubble of light. See this diamond, the bubble of light coming down the front of your body, the back of your body, the left side and the right side of your body, and gently tucked beneath your feet, 2 feet below you. Feel yourself radiating with vibrant energy, this energy of love. Now from the base of this diamond bubble of light, I want you to visualize a grounding cord, any color of your choosing, which you take deep, deep down into the earth, into the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and wrap your grounding cord around a crystal of your choosing to keep on re-energizing you throughout today. And feel these crystalline energies along the crystalline grid coming back up your grounding cord and into your diamond bubble of light. Feel the vibrant energies pulsating through you. Feel yourself clear, free and liberated. Ready to take on the world. And when you are ready, you may slowly rotate your hands, rotate your feet, stretch and make sure that you're properly back into your body. And when you are ready, you may slowly open your eyes. And anybody that chooses to share what they've experienced in the meditation, please feel free to do so. Just unmute yourself before you start talking. I'm not good at lip reading.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, please, Barbara.
Okay. It occurred to me, we were talking about earlier the penguin, and
Yes.
I got the message during that meditation that the penguin doesn't have to stand in front of a mirror and tell himself over and over and over again that he's perfect, even if we see him as clumsy. But it's a question of becoming like the penguin, not constantly having to remind yourself, because then you're basically still feeling unworthy or unbeautiful or something. But once that becomes part of your beingness, like a penguin, then that's when you really nailed it, I think.
Yes, Barbara, yes, yes, yes.
That was my message from, yeah.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Wow, awesome. Anybody else wants to share a message? Anita.
Yes, dear. Okay, so to the members of the circle, I've been meditating a lot with Fiona over the period, and I find that every meditation of mine takes me to the next level. So this morning's meditation, I found I released a lot, and it tend to synchronize with my chakra balancing, because I also found the chakras, you know, the rotation of the chakras. So I released a lot during this meditation. Confrontation is a big issue with me. So I felt quite liberated at the end of it. So I'm hoping when I step out into the world, put it into practice and see what happens. So it was really a beautiful meditation. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Nikki, unmute yourself here.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what actually came through for me, what I realized is it's about not being heard, about the other person not hearing me. And that comes back to me not being able to clearly express what I'm trying to say, because I kind of have an energetic understanding or an intuitive understanding of what I'm trying to say, but to translate that into words, even just having said that sentence blows me away that I was actually able to do that. I think that's my problem, is I feel I can't get it out there fast enough to keep the person's attention and stop them from interrupting and taking over. And so it comes back to my communication skills. And that's why I avoid confrontation, because I don't feel like I could get my say out anyway once in the situation. So that's very interesting to know, and it's something I can work on, you know. I don't really need any huge confrontations to work on it. Thanks very much. I'll find some gentle ways to get this out. But yeah, I think that's it more than anything. It's that I don't feel heard.
Okay.
And that's because I can't express clearly. Thank you. It was amazing.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else have something to say? Yeah, Vanessa. Unmute yourself, Nat.
You know, I always have something to say.
Yay!
I loved it. I absolutely went so deeply under, and I don't know the lady whose name starts with a V that I can't
Verena.
see. Verena, she said something so, when she was talking about the agreements, somebody, if they put their stuff on you, you know yourself, and Fiona, you were also mentioning, if you know yourself and somebody is putting their issues on you, why do you take it? Because you should know yourself. And yeah, that was very powerful for me. I thought, well, I experienced knowing myself, seeing myself, and it was like a royalty kind of feeling. So yeah, behave like royalty, and don't take the negative shit that everybody can throw on you, because it's their issue, it's not yours.
Yes.
Not mine. So beautiful. Thank you. I have missed these meditations.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Verena, you have anything to say? No. Okay. Yes.
No. Except that my gift was a very strange gift. It was a blanket, almost like a tribal blanket, with a, you know, those shamanic drums. They like, you hold it in your hand and you beat them.
Yes.
And one of those. So even, I don't know what that's all about. It was a beautiful blanket and the drum, and I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna ponder on that for this week, I think, on what that might be.
It might be your shamanic gift. So you stepping into, might have gone also through a shamanic rebirth, and that's usually given to a shaman from the others, especially the blanket. And the drum symbolically, for me, just what comes up now is follow the beat of your own drum. And it is it's like when you speak your truth, so when you, it's like walk your talk. It's if your beat is like this and others is like this, and you don't want to be like this, your beat is like that, you just follow that. It's you don't have to, if others go, you don't have to follow that, you don't have to be that. It's you set the pace, you put out the tunes that you would like to follow. I don't know, that's what comes up for me.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, maybe look up shamanic gifts or something. There might be more messages for you there, but it's a beautiful gift. Wow, nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me in the meditation, my gift was nothing. They just told me I need nothing. But okay. It's like Beryl's message today. We are abundantly blessed. And I feel abundantly blessed, and I'm trying to share my blessings and do this. But yeah, it was usually I'm given something, but it was interesting that they said I need nothing. And I said, okay, then today I need nothing. I think you all has been a great gift for me. I love doing these. So this is what gets me excited to see or hear your. See your faces or hear your voice to what I miss. So thank you for saying yes and being part of this. Anybody else wants to still say something before we end off? No?
Only Fiona to say thanks very much to you for hosting this, and likewise to everybody else who's shared. Thank you. I've been quite quiet this time around, but it's been awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you, Fiona. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fiona.
Thanks, everyone. Again soon.
See you all. So next week I'll do it again, and we'll do the third fear. I'm not going to say what it is. We'll keep it as a surprise. It won't be as hectic as today, but at least we got to clear and release that from the collective, us collective. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Mika. Jen.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.